What's good, team? Coming at you again with another banger training today, short and sweet. We are going to be talking about how to prevent fake opt-ins from destroying your list and destroying your life and your business, more importantly. So let's talk about the problem with lead magnets. You currently, if you're in resistance, are probably doing some sort of lead gen with a lead magnet, a freebie giveaway, download, cheat sheet, masterclass training, that sort of thing, which are great. I still do it and they work wonderfully. However, they do also present some business destroying problems, such as the following. A certain percentage of nefarious troublemakers will give you fake data, which is not their real first name, not their real email, not their real phone number. This is not such a problem in very small quantities. However, I've found the average is about 10% of people will actually just give you fake data. And that means 10% lost sales if they had just given you real data. So not only is that missed sales opportunities if they'd given you their real name, real email, and real phone number, because you can't contact them. However, it gets even worse because if you get enough of these, then what will happen is if enough of your emails obviously start to bounce, start to go to spam, etc., opting in spam traps into your list or just fake emails that are bouncing left and right, then obviously that is going to wreak havoc on your email deliverability and it's going to cause your emails to go to promo and your sales to plummet by up to about 50%. That is no bueno, my friend. We do not want that, okay? Obviously, if your emails are going to promo, half the people are seeing it, you're going to make half the sales. I call this the fake data epidemic, right? And we're here to fix the fake data epidemic right here, right now. Today, I am going to show you how to fix these problems. And I'm actually going to give you copy paste code that you can use that I've paid my developers a fair bit of money for and spent about 2 weeks refining this process and working all of this out. And you're going to save all the headache and money because you roll with me in resistance. So let's get into it. First thing, look at your contacts right now. Go to ActiveCampaign, go to wherever you store your leads, okay? And I assure you, you will find a lot of fake leads, fake data. Go through the contacts list and you will see, I guarantee it, you're gonna see fake emails, mistyped emails, fake numbers if you're collecting phone numbers, numbers with no area code, no country code. You're going to see people putting emails in the first name field. You're going to see people putting their first name and last name in the first name field because they can't follow basic fucking instructions. You're going to see people putting lowercase and uppercase formatting, typing their name, in either full uppercase or full lowercase, which you may be wondering, why is that a problem? Well, if you're sending spear emails like, hey name, saw you just joined my list, what's the number one question about getting copywriting clients, or so you just got my cheat sheet, etc. Right? Those type of emails and SMS, which are designed to look super personalized like a human sent it. Well, obviously, if you're texting people and you're like, hey, John caps lock or John lowercase or John Smith or john@gmail.com, right? Just like raw data of whatever they entered with no formatting whatsoever, you're going to look like an idiot and it's going to be extremely obvious that it was automated and it wasn't personal, which defeats the whole purpose of spears and SMS and that sort of stuff, which obviously is going to cripple our reply rates because people are going to see, it's just automated. It's not really Sean texting me, and it's going to cripple your conversions. It's going to cripple your sales. We don't want that, right? Also, it's going to mean your emails are going to start to bounce, like we mentioned, and your phone numbers are not going to be contactable, right? If you're doing outbound dialing, that sort of thing, it means that the phone numbers without the area code, without the country code, or straight up fake numbers are not gonna be of any use, all right? We won't be able to contact them. What's the point in getting leads? I'm giving you this free thing in exchange for your contact information. Technically, that means they've scammed you if they've given you fake contact information, okay? Because that is not a fair exchange. So we wanna make sure that we're getting real data from our prospects. So how do we fix this? What's the cure to this fake data epidemic, right? The best cure, in my opinion, is always going to be prevention. So rather than trying to fix this after the fact, we're going to fix it up front, there and then, right there on the landing page, on the opt-in page, so they don't even have the chance to give us fake data. Which brings me to the magic grand unveiling, the magic code that increases sales by 11%. All right, that was originally the headline of this training, but it was a bit too vague, despite it being very mysterious. So I just had to throw it in there somewhere. Forgive me. With some basic code, we can enforce that the users and prospects only enter in real data into each of the 3 fields that you want to collect. The 3 main fields that you may want to collect being obviously name, email, and then optional is their phone number if you are doing any kind of outbound dialing or SMS marketing. So for most people, it'll just be name and email. Some it'll be name, email, and number. So we need to attack each of these three in a different way. And as you'll see, there is a different code or a different system or a different type of strategy really that goes into getting the best data for each of these three fields. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you everything, and then I'm going to give you the code at the end so you can copy paste it. You're welcome. So for name, okay, I just like to collect people's first names. I don't really care about their last names, to be honest. The only time I would care about collecting someone's last name was if I wanted to upload my lead list into Facebook to try and do retargeting ads and try and find people on Facebook who are on my email list and then target them with my ads. However, if I was to go down that route, I would prefer to honestly just make a lookalike list from my customers, okay? Because my leads might not even be that good. Maybe I don't want my ads targeting them. I just want my ads targeting more people who are like my paying customers. So if I'm going to upload a list, it's going to be a customer list, not a lead list. Also, first name only is way lower friction. People usually don't mind. When it's last name, then it's just added friction. You're going to decrease your opt-in rates. Plus, the only reason I really care about their name is to send spear emails and that sort of thing, where I can say, hey, John, hope you're doing well. Sean here. Just wondering if you have any questions. What's your number one question about blah, blah, blah. Respond back and let me know, and I'll see if I can help you out, whatever, right? That sort of stuff. So that's why I just want their first name. It's just so they can tell that it's personalized for them. So what we need a code here that can, number one, prevent last names in the first name field, right? So I don't know why people do this. I literally said first name and people type in their full name. I don't care about your full name. I just want your first name. So we need a way of disallowing people from entering in space as a character, basically. So just John. I don't want John Smith because, hey, John Smith, that's obviously automated and no one would actually say that to another person. That's the first thing. Second thing is we need a way to auto format the name to title case. Okay, so if they enter in John lowercase or John uppercase, it needs to be auto formatted to John in title case or sentence case, whatever you want to call it. Capital first letter, the rest lowercase. Okay, that's the second thing we need to accomplish. And the third thing we need to accomplish with this code is to prevent numbers and symbols in the name field apart from hyphens. Hyphens are okay because there are some names like, for example, Mary Ann, which may actually have a hyphen in it. That is the only symbol I will allow. I will not allow any other symbol. I will not allow spaces, ats, numbers, dots, anything else. Hyphens are right, but nothing else flies with me. In addition, we also need it to have a minimum length of 2 characters. I'm not aware of any names that are only 1 letter long. So it must be at least 2 letters. So anything that is blank, obviously we can't allow. Anything that is 1 letter, we can't allow. No one's real fucking name is like Jay or something like that. Okay, it's just spam. It's just people being lazy. I don't follow with that. You got to work for a little bit. You want this cheat sheet? Give me real information. So we're not going to allow that. Must be at least 2 letters. That is my criteria. Sorry for the abrupt transition there. Team OBS decided to royally fuck me over and stop recording the screen 9 minutes in, meaning the last 20 minutes of this video was completely useless. So I'm going to refilm it again and make it nice and compact. So putting it all together, this is the code that we are going to get. This long son of a bitch here, okay? Now, obviously I'm going to give you this to copy paste, so don't worry about trying to type it out or anything like that. To give you a live walkthrough of what this actually looks like, we're going to go right there. And sorry, we're actually going to go here to the pop-up settings. Now you'll see there's 3 fields, right? The first name, email, and number. It's this custom JavaScript /HTML right there. So you have to go elements, add element, and then you come down here and you go HTML block somewhere in custom. There it is, the very bottom, custom JS HTML, drag it in. That's me. Don't drag Sean in, drag this in. All right, boom, there it is. That's just a dummy one, so I'll delete that. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna come over here to the actual live one, open code editor, and this is the code that you'll copy paste, the one that I just showed you just before. Down here, that's it. And that does all the stuff that we need it to do. So to give you a live walkthrough again of what this looks like in practice. So here we have the first name field. So I will try and type in lowercase Sean, S-E-A-N. You'll see it automatically corrected the first letter to capital letters, which is cool. I'll type in all caps. And as you can see, it's auto capitalizing all the letters to lowercase. I'll try to type in Sean Ferris, my full name. You can see it literally won't let me add a space. It will not let me add any numbers or letters apart from hyphen, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so I can type a word like Marianne, although it will not capitalize automatically what's after the hyphen. So that's the only weakness. Maybe I can have my developer add that, but that's a pretty rare case. So that's it. That does everything we need to do. You also can't leave it blank, and you can't just have one letter in there either. Cool. You can have Joe, but not J. So that's pretty good. That's robust. It's nice and solid. And that's exactly what we want it to do, which is really, really good formatting for when you send spear emails and that sort of thing. You're pretty much saying, hey, whoever's opting in, you can only play within these confined rules. You got to play my game. So then your name can fit into my format, which I want to use to contact you. So that's name, right? Next, we move on to email. So we need a way of preventing fake emails and spam emails. And just as bad, in my opinion, arguably just as bad, is secondary swipe emails and that sort of thing that no one checks, okay? Because they're just going to sit there rotting in some dark corner of the internet and not opening your emails, which is just going to hurt your deliverability, as we know. So the best way to do this, frankly, mind-blowing, I know, is just to ask, okay? So just changing some very simple language in the opt-in box itself, rather than what most people say is they just say, hey, enter your email. If you simply just change the language to say, enter your best email instead, then most people, again, it's just like a subconscious little nudge, without even really thinking about it, will just give you their best email on autopilot, right? So that's pretty good. That's what we want. I also have, so you can see it says your best email. I also have this language down at the bottom. It says the download link will be emailed to you straight away. So please ensure your email is correct. Okay, that's important as well that we have that. Because then it's like, hey, you can't just give me some bullshit email. It's actually going to go to your it's going to be sent to your email. So you need a real email to be able to get the free download. Now, obviously that's beginner level shit. You guys are resistance, okay? So you came here for more advanced stuff than that. So additionally, we can use tools like NeverBounce or XVerify to actually check and look up emails in real time and prevent spam emails on the opt-in page. So traditionally, there are tools like NeverBounce, XVerify, and Email List Verify and that sort of thing, which are more for cold emailing. So you would download, like scrape a lead list, and then you would upload it thousands of emails to these tools. And then they would basically remove all the emails that are fake or high likelihood of bouncing, or accept all emails or spam traps and that sort of thing, which is great, right? Obviously, that'll dramatically improve your success with outreach and that sort of stuff. But you can also use these tools to verify emails in real time. So on the opt-in page right here, I have NeverBounce connected to it right now. And so if you try and enter a fake email, now it's never going to be perfect, right? It doesn't know every fake email in the world, but it is a hell of a lot better than nothing. And it won't let you enter fake emails, spam emails, that sort of thing. So I'll give you a quick walkthrough of what that looks like. So if I try and go like, okay, we'll add in Sean. If I try to go a@a.com, for example, it's like a fake junk email that isn't real. No one uses it. And then I try and go download now, whatever. You see how it goes red? That's because it's not a real email, so it won't let me put that in. Additionally, if I try and go like, let's say, maybe I mistype it. So if I go seanferris@gmail.com, like C-O-N instead of com. Well, when I press, usually actually, it'll pop up with a little suggestion saying, did you mean .com? And then you can click it and then it'll change it. I think because I'm not doing this incognito, it's got like a cached copy of it or something. And so here, I'll just try and do another example. There you go. So did you mean seanferris@gmail.com? Boom, one click and you can change it. A lot of the times when people give you fake emails and that sort of thing, it's not malicious necessarily. It's just like they have fat thumbs. Like me, I have the world's fattest thumbs. I cannot type on a phone. So they just probably hit the wrong letter by accident. And that's also what we want to avoid, because that's the same for all intents and purposes, giving you fake data. Now, if I try and go download now, obviously you don't have to enter a number or it won't let me, but you can see, oh, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, you can see it auto-corrected the .com to .com before submitting the form. I don't know what happened with the number thing, but at least like it auto-corrected the N to an M. So it gave you a real email, which is cool. That's exactly what we want. So I use NeverBounce and I connect it to ClickFunnels with a free script in CF Power Scripts. You can use either of these, NeverBounce and XVerify both work. NeverBounce has a free script in CF Power Scripts, and XVerify, you have to pay for the script. That's the only reason I chose NeverBounce. Other than that, they work pretty much the same. So now the only cost for this is a small fee to never bounce per email lookup. So depending on what package you buy, you can bulk buy thousands of these, tens of thousands. It's only 0.3 cents to 0.8 cents per email. So not really going to break the bank. You can do tens of thousands for only like $100. Pretty good deal, and it will save you a lot of junk data, more than worth it in the end. So in order to actually connect this, so firstly here is Never Bounce. This is what it looks like. You can see I have 13,000 credits there. You would go to buy credits, and then you would verify, sync it up. You just have to simply copy your API key into CF PowerScripts, and then that's how you connect these two, because you have to integrate it with ClickFunnels. It's not like a standalone thing. You need a custom script to check it. So there we go. There's the seanferris@gmail.com that we just submitted just then, 2 minutes ago, and it's showing up and it's saying allowed, it passed, validated, congratulations. Cool. And we can probably also be able to see the failure somewhere at some stage. And there's some more emails there that have been allowed in. Cool. So that's what it's doing in the background, doing its thing, working its magic. Here is the CF PowerScripts dashboard. So we would go to PowerScripts. You can see I've got it in 3 active funnels currently. We'll go to the free cheat sheet Facebook group funnel. And as you can see on the right, I've got it connected only to the actual opt-in page. I don't need it on the rest of the steps in my funnel. And you can see there it is right there, Never Bounce email validation. So if I was to add this, I'll show you what it would look like. I would go to this opt-in page there. I would go add new. Now it's not going to show up because I already have it connected, but you would simply type in Never Bounce and then boom, it'll come up right there. And then you would add it, you would integrate it, you would connect it. And it's as simple as just going right there. And then it's going to come up with a page like that. You add your API key. I prefer to go allow unknown no. So if it's not sure, then don't let it in, but it's up to you what your policy is on that. Cool. And that's the system. So that's email. That's how we verify that emails are legit and they're coming into our opt-in page. Third and final piece. This is optional, not for everyone, but if you are collecting phone numbers for the purposes of doing outbound dialing or you're doing SMS marketing, then obviously you want to validate those to make sure you are getting valid numbers. Otherwise, what's the point in even doing it? You also need to add the area code for your CRM or your calling software to be able to recognize and use them. So when you use tools like Alaware or Close or Salesforce or HubSpot, whatever it is, then you need an area code, obviously, to add to the start of the number, because the number could be coming from anywhere in the whole world. It has no idea. So it needs to know, like, where's this number from? It needs the area code. Otherwise, it's just junk data. So a lot of people, the problem with this is that there are humans, also known as Americans, typically, putting you guys on the spot right now, who often fail to realize that a world exists outside of America. And number actually starts with +1, right? They just forget that this country code is the thing. They're just in their own world, right? So even if you say literally, hey, can you give me your phone number with country code? It's not enough, right? Especially for the Americans. The rest of the world, it's like, yeah, of course we need a country code, duh. But for America, yeah, they forget about that. So we need a way of automatically adding this for my American homeboys. Now, there's a couple ways we could do it. One, you could just have a drop-down menu to choose the country. Like imagine right here on my page, you can see there's a drop-down and blah, blah, blah. I can go all the way down here. Let's pretend I'm in Haiti and I choose Haiti and then I type in my number. So that's pretty cool, right? It's got the flags and everything like that and it's handy. However, it still adds friction because I have to go find the country, scroll down, choose the thing, right? The more little things you add like that, which add friction, it's already enough friction having a phone number field as it is. Most people expect just name and email or even just email. So really we want to really minimize friction wherever possible. Now, the way that we do that is I have set this code up so that the area code actually automatically detects their location from their IP address and then automatically adds it on to the start of their number. So I'll show you again in the incognito window what that looks like. You'll see here, when I load this page for my opt-in, you can see how the flag automatically is set to Australia. That's not by accident. It's because I'm in Australia, right? And it knows that because of my IP address. My location says Sean is in Australia. Therefore, this will auto default populate to Australia, okay? And if I was doing this from the US, or if I had a VPN and I was pretending to be from the US, then it would have a US flag instead and the US area code. So the cool thing about this is if I just pop my number in without the area code at all, it'll detect that there's no area code and it will automatically add it. So my number is now valid and I can submit the form, okay? Which is really cool. If I typed in the area code and I went +61 425, oops, make that a plus, I went +62, +61. See, I typed in the +61, so it doesn't automatically add another +61, like it knows that I've already typed it in. So that's really good as well. If I try and make my number too long, it's going to say your number's too long. If I try and make my number too short, it's going to say too short. Now, it's not 100% guaranteed to be correct. Like I just typed in a whole bunch of random numbers just then, and it's going to say, okay, actually in this case, it's saying it's an invalid number. So it's good, it's doing its job. But sometimes you can just type in a random ass number and then it'll think it's valid, even if it's just a random string. But hey, maybe the random string of numbers I typed in actually turns out to be a real phone number. I don't know, but still pretty good, okay? So it's not 100% perfect, but it is pretty close. Now, in terms of where to get this code, this is the code, by the way, that we're using. It's a long fucking code. So there's two parts of it. This part here, you have to put it in the body tracking code in ClickFunnels in the funnel settings. And then you also have to put this in the body tracking code in the ClickFunnels settings as well. This is the long part of it because it's got flags for every single country. Okay, now I have done the hard legwork of doing this for you / paying for it to be built for you. There's a very similar code you can actually buy for $200 at this site called Funnel Care. I had my developer install this and we worked on it together over the course of the last few weeks, just like the name field one as well. So you're welcome to use it. You're welcome to use this for personal use or for your clients as well. But please do not like reteach this, especially as part of like a mass accessible course or something like that. So you could teach it to your client or whatever, that's fine. But like, don't just like slap this in a course that like hundreds of people have access to, okay? Just out of respect to the developer and the original owner of the code, right? And Funnel Care and all those guys, okay? That is my ask. Cool, so I'll show you where to put this code and how it all works. So first things first, if you go to settings, so you go tracking code. So remember last time we went to show pop-up and then it was here. It's not gonna be here, that's only for the name one. For the phone number code, you wanna go to tracking code. Don't worry about the header code, that's for my pixel manager. It's gonna be in the footer code, all right? And you'll see there is all the code right there. So if we scroll down, that's the whole thing. That's the super long one, and it goes here, okay? The one at the bottom. If we go back, go to your settings in the funnel itself, and then you wanna go over here to the body tracking code. That is gonna be at the bottom where we stick the shorter one that was up the top. So this one here, those little two paragraphs. We are gonna stick those in the body tracking code. So you can see I've got my Google Tag Manager code, TikTok pixel code, just in case. I tried TikTok ads for a while, did not work at all. So down the bottom, we have these two, right? So the two paragraphs that you see down there is this part, that and that. So those are the two elements that we need to do the outbound dialing. And that is it. That is the whole setup pretty much explained. So I'll give you this document. It's all yours. Copy, paste, use the codes, get set up in Neverbounce or Xverify. And you, my friend, will now be collecting real data from all of your leads. You'll be saving yourself from heartbreaking fake data, from fat thumbs, from people entering in just general junk, trying to game the system, right? You're going to freaking slap your goddamn cock down on the table like Nico would say. And you're going to say, you must give me real data. That is the exchange. I'm giving you this free cheat sheet. You got to give me some real information in exchange. And these help enforce that in a way that is very user friendly and everyone wins. So install the code, start making money, and I'll see you in the next video.